adventure hike to the famous Puliebadze Peak is perhaps the easiest and most rewarding nature trail any tourist can undertake while visiting Kohima city, the capital of Nagaland. Puliebadze Trekker's Point is about 10 kilometers away from Kohima town at Phezu, Jotsoma village. The drive itself through the reserve forest onto the base camp is pleasant and visual delight to the urban lot who crave for rich forest and nature. On a luckier day, one may encounter the majestic state animal of Nagaland, the mithun. I was one lucky chap on my trail to Puliebadze. Mithuns normally roam the forests and has close relations with many traditions of tribals in the hills in this part of the northeast of India. Well, the gateway to Puliebadze. Puliebadze Trail, an adventure into the rich forest biodiversity and scenic beauty, is a trail for any adventure seeker. And at the top of the hike is where one is presented with a panoramic view of the eastern skies and the beautiful Kohima city. Puliebadze Peak shares a part with Mount Japfer, which is the second highest peak in Nagaland. Puliebadze is an important bird area and besides serving as an important catchment for water recharge. So it's time to do the trail. Alright, so we do the trail to Puliebadze. They say it takes about 15 minutes, but I'm going to keep 1 hour for the trail and enjoy more of the trekking than the destination. It's a beautiful day, beautiful sun, weather is perfect for me to enter the rich forest biodiversity and explore, learn, understand more of nature as I do this trail to Puliebadze. It's only about 1.2 kilometers, so let's enjoy the trail. The leisurely trail to Puliebadze Peak at 1.2 kilometers from Trekker's Point into the rich forest biodiversity is a must-do for any trekker, nature enthusiast and campers. The trail opens up the ecosystem and its treasure to the mind, the soul, the body, and delights the visually starved urban folks living in the concrete jungle to a refreshingly green and stunning view. The ambience, perfectly tuned with the varied birds chirping along the way, is an experience for a long time to remember. Puliebadze Trail is best done during the dry season, free from the pestering slimy leeches and getting soaked to the bone. More freedom to leisurely trek and roam the forest in dry season. But given the richness of life that comes in monsoon, one may also choose to dare and enjoy the more beautiful greeneries and lively forests. As you do the trail to Puliebadze, there is something that you must keep in mind. During the Second World War, the havoc caused by the war, the Japanese occupied these ranges when they came to attack. And of course, you know the story of the famous Battle of Kohima. The different quotes from famous personalities on importance of environment protection and conservation along the trail definitely helps any trekker finding it a little tedious during the initial climb. Besides keeping alive the awareness on the responsibility to keep the trail clean and litter-free with the assurance of spectacular view at the summit. The trail slowly sets to a gentle and restful trek halfway and opens up the attention of the trekkers to the bountiful, rare and unique flora and fauna. The long vine creepers, lianas and the rising canopy overhead are a sight to behold and linger on. Thick forests, ancient-looking trees, assortment of fungi, lichens, and an amazing diversity of parasitic plant growths make one wonder how life goes on in the forests. Moss covered fallen trees, rotten logs and stumps all makes an ethereal experience along the way, unmindful of the heaving and puffing of the initial climb. The trail gets better and better as you hike. It's more beautiful, more mesmerizing, more enchanting, more fascinating. It's just so beautiful. The forest becomes more pristine, more calm, a beautiful tree as you trek this beautiful trail. The steps look so tempting despite breathing heavily as well. You look at those beautiful trees rooting on a rock. The most fascinating of all that I saw was the rooting on the rock. I stood there wondering at the amazing sight, the tangled roots upon the rock, and wished if life could be as easy as helping each other grow unmindful of own comfort and luxury, as is what I see here in the forest. The moss covered rock clusters probably stood hundreds of years, enduring erosion and weathering silently upon these hills. These formations are awe-inspiring, nature's raw beauty to a trekker and adventurist. When you do trails in forests, you get this beautiful view. It's any photographer's delight. This is so beautiful. I will head to the left side for my destination, Puliebadze Peak. But always fun, always a pleasure to stop by, take a breather, pause and enjoy. The last mile to the peak of Puliebadze is breathtakingly beautiful. The outcropping tree roots makes a natural step. The trees along the peak changes to clusters of predominantly rhododendron species. When visiting Puliebadze during March to April, the peak is ablaze with rhododendron flower, which is also the state flower. At the top, it is not unfair to feel like on top of the world for once. After all the sweating, huffing and puffing, panting and wheezing the trail to Puliebadze Peak, I am definitely rewarded well, with a breath of fresh air, amazing view and realization of how important it is to be fit besides being healthy. Puliebadze Peak at 2,300 meters above sea level, and with the climb you get the view like this. Puliebadze is really an adventurous dream spot. If you love being in the midst of nature, beautiful forests and magnificent view, then the trail to Puliebadze beckons you. I just want to enjoy this magnificent view here at Puliebadze. A person familiar with the place, I can pinpoint all important landmarks of the town, a small village that, despite the ravage of the fiercest battle of World War II, has rapidly grown into a hustle and bustle with people flocking from all corners of the state, the capital of Nagaland.